Hi everyone, and welcome back. We're here live in the GuideWell Insights Lounge at the Oliver Wyman Health Innovation Summit. Who do we have to kick off the second half of our live stream but Helen, Leis. Helen, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
So Helen, we love having you here at the Insights Lounge. You are a partner in the health and life sciences sector for Oliver Wyman, but you were also today's opening keynote. So
Yes.
we're going to kind of unpack that 30-minute fantastic presentation
Thank
here
you.
in the Insights Lounge and let everyone in our digital space know what you had to say. So all right,
Okay.
let's start right here. Healthcare, particularly in the United States, has gone through huge changes in the last decade. Tell us what makes now the prime time for disruption.
Sure. So you have this confluence of circumstances, or almost a collision of conditions, right, that makes it right for disruption. You have very unhappy consumers. They're frustrated, they have a lot of hassles, they're extremely dissatisfied with the condition of healthcare today. Then on the supply side, you have waste, you have inefficiencies, and everyone can see it. Those two conditions are necessary, but they're not sufficient. You then need a catalyst, and we're starting to see those catalysts today. So a catalyst can be a regulatory push. For example, CMS is saying 50% of payments next year need to be tied to value or to quality.
Right.
So that's a catalyst. Another catalyst could be technological advancements. We're seeing tons of that in terms of the way people are using mobile to access convenient healthcare, the way we're seeing artificial intelligence being used at more and more scale to kind of change the role that different players in the ecosystem today are playing. So in my mind, you've got all those conditions coming together. It's happening.
Excellent. All right. So what are some of the exciting shifts in healthcare that you're seeing personally?
So one is this notion of disintermediation, right? Like people who played the traditional roles are kind of being nudged and elbowed aside by incumbents from other industries who are closer to the consumer, who are eyeing what's happening,
Yes.
right? Amazon is a great example we
Right.
talked about a little bit. So you've got this notion of like there's value that's trapped there, and then there are unhappy consumers that people think they can serve better. And if they can come in and take that strategic control of the consumers, you've got yourself a situation where you can start to carve out the more valuable piece of the health sector value chain, and the traditional incumbents stand to lose.
All right, so boy, it's as if you read the questions in advance, Helen. All right, so you mentioned, especially this morning in your keynote, you spent some time on this, that the value chain in healthcare is breaking. As healthcare unbundles, who are some of the new entrants and innovators breaking value chain?
Well, some of them we are featuring here, right? So the Accolades, the Imagine Healths of the world, right? So Imagine is basically going to employers and creating bespoke provider networks by saying, we'll make a narrow network for you, you don't need the insurer at all, and we'll make sure it's high quality providers, right? Accolade is doing that high touch concierge customer service. Quantum Health is doing care management, condition management for employers. Like one of my very good friends is in a situation right now where he has need of that kind of a service. He's called it the single bright spot of the entire healthcare system for him. And he's being treated at like the best academic medical centers in New York.
Right, okay. All right, so let's bring it down to, maybe from the 36,000 down to reality.
Okay.
Disruption is going to come with consequences, right?
Yes.
So what are the immediate implications for the payer and the provider?
I think the payers and the providers need to really be thinking about, are the assets and the capabilities that I have today, are they relevant? Are they still going to be able to create economic value for me in the future? Are they going to help me control the consumer relationship in the future?
Right.
And I had mentioned this morning, the question isn't, am I close to the consumer? The question is, am I closer to the consumer than Amazon or Uber is?
Right.
And if I'm not, what are my wedges in? And it is possible. There is expertise here. There's knowledge and understanding of like what are the conditions that consumers are wrestling with that an Amazon doesn't have.
Right.
So there are opportunities for them to come in, but they need to be focused on those two questions first.
And they need to act fast, don't they?
And they need to move fast.
Yeah.
I think we've got a couple of quarters before we start to see a lot of shakeout going on in the industry based on CVS, Aetna, Amazon.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of different movements.
Right.
That it's happening.
It's an exciting time, though, isn't it?
It is.
All right.
It's exhausting. It's exciting.
All right, well, Helen, thank you for helping to bring our digital audience into what we're sharing here at the summit. Fantastic event, so congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, this is Kate Warnock coming to you live from the GuideWell Insights Lounge. We're going to be up with another interview in just a minute.